And we're on. If you're new to this channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Logan. This is Timeless Personal Growth and Development. Book review, The Rational Male, Part 3. If you haven't seen Part 1 or Part 2, go to my channel and check it out. This is The Irrational Male by Rollo Tomasi. If you haven't read this, go to Amazon, $10, and check it out. This book is about intersexual dynamics, how men and women interrelate to each other in terms of relationships, marriage, when it comes to work, etc. This book will challenge you, it will push you, it'll make you a little bit uncomfortable, that all the things you were led to believe all your life are wrong. But it is life-changing work, and it will greatly improve your life, and all the frustrations that most people have when it comes to dating, we've all been through it. I wouldn't say eliminate those frustrations, but you'll know how to effectively deal with it, and you'll understand why certain things are happening, why certain things are not happening, why are you having problems dating, why you're not. So it'll give you more insight, it'll inform you, and it'll educate you on what to do and what not to do and why certain things are happening. So let's get into it. We're talking about today polarity, relationship polarity. Well, what's polarity? It's the differences between men and women. And contrary to popular belief, that is what creates attraction and creates intimacy in a relationship. Is not the similarities, it is not the things we have in common with each other. It's the differences, it's the polarity, it's the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Think about it like this. You take a very masculine man and he's dating a very masculine woman. Is he going to be attracted to her? No. Because he's in his masculine energy, and so is she. There's no polarity. They're too similar in their energy. Think about it like this. I got male friends who are very masculine. I would consider myself to be a very masculine guy. Am I attracted to them? No, I'm not attracted to their energy. No. I'm not trying to be intimate with my friends. They're my dudes. They're my buddies. I'm attracted to feminine energy. Feminine energy. And it's the same thing. You take a very feminine woman and she's dating a very feminine man. Is she going to be attracted to him? No. Because he's too feminine. That's why. And men get into a very problematic state of mind where they think, well, if I identify more with her, if I'm more alike her, if I'm similar to her, then she'll like me more. No. She'll like you more if you're authentic, if you're just being who you are. Being confident and comfortable with your masculine energy. No matter what, if someone's guilting you about the masculine energy or shaming you about it, you stay firm, you hold your ground in that masculine energy. No, that's who I am, and that's who I'm comfortable with. Take it or leave it. Attraction and intimacy doesn't come from being similar. It comes from the polarity from each other. That's the trick. The more I'm like her, then she'll like me more. And the more you stay true to yourself, your authentic self, that's what she'll like more. And men have a tendency to get into a relationship where they have that masculine energy. They're strong, they're confident, they're assertive, they're masculine. They go out with their buddies, they like do things together, you know? They get into a relationship, and then over time, they slowly start to identify more with her, and they start to fade away from that masculine energy. And that's, you got to be careful of that, because that's when that That's when the attraction starts to fade away. When you start to identify more with her ideals and more with her energy. I mean, you're not going to ask her to do that, no. Because you want to remain attracted to each other. Remain attracted by being feminine and being masculine. I mean, we all, women out there, y'all have female friends. Men out there, y'all have male friends. If your energies are similar, you're not attracted to each other, are you? Intimately? No, of course not. Doesn't work like that. The nice guy jerk spectrum, I know this has been done to death. A million people have talked about this on the YouTubes. I'll just use a Star Wars reference for this. So you have the dark side and you have the light side. So men get upset with women, or women get upset with men. Like, oh, he's just, he's nice, but I'm not really that into him. I'm not really into him. He seems like a nice guy. He's nice. He's friendly, but he's just no. I'm not that into him. Well, what is that? Where does that come? What she means? Just like not into him. Or guys will say like, I've done everything I had to do for this girl. I sacrificed. I overinvest. I was so nice for her. I did everything she wanted. That's the problem. You did everything she wanted, not doing everything that you wanted. That's the issue right there. It's like, okay, women just want the bad boy, so I'm going to just be a jerk. I'm going to be an asshole and disrespect her and just be a misogynistic prick. No, that's not the answer either. You got to stop living in those binary extremes. It's not one extreme to the other. Like the Star Wars reference I mentioned, it's not going to the dark side and going to the light. Going to the Jedi, going to the Sith. It's having the balance of the Force right in the middle. Being the middle guy. Being assertive and being strong and being aggressive in the right context when you need to, but also being comforting and nurturing and nice and investing into a relationship when you need to too. Men have a tendency to overinvest a little too quick. It takes time for the investment to build with each other in the relationship. You gotta take time to build. It's the alpha energy and the beta energy. The alpha energy is the energy that's very attractive and arousing to women. That's where the intimacy happens, through just aggression and masculinity and assertiveness and setting boundaries. I mean, being strong. And if you're in the right situation where you need to be strong, if you're a husband and you're a father and you're walking with your wife and your children, and an unstable person comes up to you and starts to threaten you and your family and your wife and kids, you think that's the time to be nice and accommodating and being beta and being weak and being compromising? No, that's the time to bring out the beast. That's the time where you need to let the animal out. Or you need to be aggressive. Why? Because you need to protect your family from harm. Men have a protective instinct for men. Men have a protective instinct for women and children. So, men in that situation aren't gonna. You're not gonna necessarily worry too much. Like, oh, I hope I can access that really strong, aggressive, animalistic energy. That's gonna come out naturally, and that's why I always say men need to learn hand-to-hand combat skills. Men need to learn how to fight and defend themselves in a situation, because you're in a situation like that where you got to protect your family. Those instincts are going to kick in anyway, but if you combine that with combat skills and competent in fighting and knowing how to take a man down and defend yourself and then your family, you have the combination of both, you'll be lethal. You'll be able to protect. You'll be able to defend your tribe, your community, and your wife and children will be okay. And that's the energy that's arousing to a woman. That's the energy that women like, is that. But if you're always in that mind frame of that all the time, being strong, aggressive, just always being, I'll use like Jekyll and Hyde. If If you're always high all the time, if you're always wild and crazy, yeah, maybe that's attractive and arousing to some women, maybe. But if you're a man that you want to build a family and have a life and a marriage and have a home, you need to bring out those beta traits. And I've always thought that beta traits meant weakness. It's not weakness. It's comfort. And to be a family man, you need comforting traits as well. You need to be assuring, you need to be nurturing, you need to lead, you need to care for the children, you need to put them to bed at night, you need to put band-aids on their legs when they scrape their knee, you need to soothe their emotions when you need to, you need to be comforting to them. That's beta traits. But if you're a person watching this and you want to have a healthy marriage and happy family life, you need to have both. You need to be in the middle. You got to balance both sides of the force. You got to have both those energies and know when to use alpha traits and when to use beta traits in the right situation, in the right context. Because the alpha traits is what creates intimacy with your wife. Beta traits is what creates comfort and attraction and that emotional intimacy. It's the physical intimacy, and then it's the emotional intimacy as well. The last part I'm going to go into here is the savior schema. Men and women get into relationships, and hopefully we're going to save this person from their problems and their anxieties and their demons and their issues, and they're going to love us forever because we pulled them from the depths of hell. You're not going to save them. For one thing, it's not your job to save anybody but yourself, and your problems are your own. So, and if you're someone going into a relationship that's looking for someone to save you, they will not be able to save you. Ever. Because those problems cannot be fixed by only one person but you. Those problems are still going to be there. And if you're someone in a relationship pattern all the time that's always trying to saving this person their problem, saving this person, you got other crap to do in your life, man. Like, you got a job, you got work, you got a mission, you got a purpose that you got to work on. You don't have time to save everybody, and it's not your job to save everybody. It's never your job to save everybody. It's your job to save yourself. So if a man and woman approaching a relationship, you want a healthy relationship, those problems and those issues need to be already worked on and resolved. Because you got to be complements to each other. Because if you get into a relationship with someone who has a whole bunch of problems, that's going to be an anchor dragging you down. And you don't need an anchor. You don't need that. You got other things to worry about. Problematic people like that need to be single and need to work on their issues themselves. And if you're someone who have already worked on those issues yourself, you need to search for someone who's worked on those issues as well. Because that's just going to be a liability and a problem in your life that you don't need and you don't want. It's not your responsibility to save anyone. And I'm going to go back one more point. I'm going to go back on the nice guy jerk spectrum. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use a Captain America analogy. You got Captain America and you got Steve Rogers. So like I said, you got the alpha trait and you got the beta trait. The alpha traits is the arousing traits. The beta traits are the comforting traits. As a man, you got to be able to bounce back and access both. So you have to learn when to be Captain America and when you need to be Steve Rogers. In times of chaos, in times of battle, in times of panic, you need to be Captain America. You need to be the leader. In times of calmness and comfort, That's when you can lower yourself a little bit, lower the aggression a little bit, and then you can be comforting, and that's when you bring out the comforting Steve Rogers qualities. Yes, Captain America is what? He's the alpha arousing side. Steve Rogers is the beta comforting side. You need to be the middle ground and be able to balance both properly, and that's the hard part. That takes a lot of practice, but you got to be able to master that balance between both and understand dating, the dating world, understanding the sexual marketplace, be able and have experience to be able to understand both of it. Because if you have that healthy balance of both, and know when to what's the word I'm looking for? Bring out those sides of your personality. Every guy has it. Every guy has those alpha and beta traits. You gotta know when to use it. You gotta know how to trigger it. And know how to bounce back between the two. And you can even use a Bruce Wayne Batman analogy too, as well. Because Batman is what? He's the fun guy. He's the exciting guy. He's the arousing guy. Bruce Wayne's a comforting guy. You need a little bit of both. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this video was of value to you, you can like, subscribe, comment. You can follow me, Timeless Personal Growth, Logan Ryder, on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that. And you can watch past videos of book reviews, storytime show on personal growth and development, and child development and fitness, and more videos will be there to come. And I will see you all in another life. Have a great day.